was pretty cool, I think. What's going on, everybody? I'm Cordseg Zero, and you're watching 0 Hour. Toaster. James. What's happening, everybody? Yeah, it's a podcast. You can call it that. Live podcast. We're chilling. Doing something a little bit differently tonight as far as format. Now, normally when I do this, I have a bunch of links. And instead of doing that today, like, I still have a few things that I feel like I want to show you guys that would be good for the show. But it's going to be a little bit more off the cuff, coming straight out of my brain tonight. Reason being is because experimentation is key to figuring out what the best way to do anything is. Especially as a YouTuber, you want to try to find the best method of delivering the content to your audience. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to say tonight is going to come straight out of my head. And, you know, for that reason, I hope, you know, if you... that's where I need your feedback, right? Like, if you guys liked it that way, let me know. If not, it's totally cool. Because I feel like this type of podcast would be really good for people who are, like, at work. If they're trying to watch something while they're at work, it could be tough. You know, when I'm showing clips and images and such. Not to say that I won't ever do that kind of thing, but maybe that should be its own thing. I don't know. The first thing that comes to my mind. Well, I feel like I'm going through like a spiritual stage right now, more than I have ever. I don't know what's causing it. It's there's something that is like driving me to research certain things. That, like, it's not that I haven't looked into these things before, but, like, I'm starting to feel more in tune with it, and it's, like, feels like it's almost, like, calling out to me in a weird way. Like, I'm sure everybody here has had a moment in their life where they kept thinking about something, and it's almost like nagging at them, and then they finally go down the path to meet that thing, or they go to buy something, or they go to read something, or watch something. It's similar to that. Would I ever go to China? Yeah, why not? I mean, I'm interested in exploring the rest of the world, so I feel like China would be... It's like really relaxing. Their culture is rich, they have great food, nice people there. Like, I just don't agree with their government. Personally, we're not going to get into politics tonight, though, so that's like as far as I'm going to take that. Most of you guys already know how I feel about that. You know. Also, I wanted to just briefly apologize for some of the crap that happened in the stream last night, if any of you guys were here. I'm not going to even throw out names. It's not really necessary at this point, but I had to demod somebody. They said something that came off as quite racist towards a random person that had never been in any of my streams, who was from Korea and was speaking Korean in the chat, and I just wanted to apologize that that happened because it's really not the place for it. I'm going to be getting in contact with the person in question that did this, and I'm going to, you know, kind of have a chat with them about it, because listen, I've given it a lot of thought. I don't think shunning somebody and then just cutting them off is the way to go. The best way to do things is to actually try to deter this from occurring again. So you got to try to have a conversation with that person instead of... I don't want to cancel anybody, right? That's not how I'm going to do it. I want this person to learn from it and understand why it was wrong, and then take it from there. What's up, Tutu? We're in voice chat, Tutu, if you want to hop in. I'm going to take it from there and sort of make it so that they don't think that way anymore. They see things a little differently, kind of see the light, sort of thing. And then they're able to move on from it and act appropriately. I was embarrassed by it, honestly. I didn't like it. I'm just doing the 0 Hour podcast, or I'm just going to start talking about some things. And it's low key. We're vibing. Now, as you guys can see in the title, it says consciousness, higher dimensions, and more. So, I'm going to be exploring some of those ideas tonight. I'm going to tell you from my own head some things that I don't always like to talk about. Life after death is one of them. I get a little worked up sometimes about that, right? It's a touchy subject for some people. Now listen, I'm sure some of you have your own religious beliefs or things that you have, like you have a creed that you follow in life. There's nothing that I say tonight is meant to like insult that. These are just my own ideas, things that I picked up from being alive for 31 years, and kind of what I feel happens when you die. But I'm not trying to like go too far down the death road. I'm trying to go further into how I think the soul works and consciousness and like what makes a person, not their body, but like them, their energy, their personality, the thing that makes you different from another person. The true you, basically, is kind of what I'm getting at here. Well, Toaster, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did, actually. As far as I know.
What happened?
Oh, 222. Now, he's asking if ninjas existed in ancient China. I'm pretty sure that's where they originate from. It's like an ancient time in China. What's up, 22?
Why'd I get moved?
Zio's... Did he move both of us?
No.
No, I just moved 2-2. You just run into somebody's podcast and say what happened. What the fuck? Listen.
wait, no. I told him to. I told him to come into the chat. I told him to.
I know. Just listen to.
No, he could talk. It's all good. It's all good. He's here. Like, dude, it is a lot easier for me to do this type of thing when there's other people here. Like, it is. I need people to bounce ideas off of, for sure. Like, I really do. Now, UFO Nerd's supposed to be popping in at some point. I don't know when he's getting here. He's not online right now, I don't think, but... So, do expect someone else to randomly show up. But, in any event, I hope everybody here has been having a great day. Thanks to everybody that showed up for the VR chat stream last night. We're in the final countdown here. The final countdown for the Valve Index showing up at my house. I'm, like, really excited. I'm going to do an unboxing video, too. I feel like that's appropriate.
Take a screenshot of what we did last night.
I did.
With the house.
Yeah, I did. I totally did. Yeah. I felt like that was like a great idea. I don't know. Like, we literally did everything we could to crash that reversey room. And it, like, held strong. I was pretty impressed. Do I like history? What's up, Iden? How are you? Thank you for that. Yeah, I do, actually. I was pretty chill with my history teachers throughout most of my schooling. Especially in high school, I really liked my history teachers. And they could tell that I was into it. So it made their job easier, of course. You know, like, again, alright, I'll say this, but, like, I'm not bragging, alright? Like, I'm just gonna, like, say it. Just to keep things real. Like, I liked school, right? Now, there were different reasons why. I knew a lot. I had my days where I'm like, I don't feel like going in. There's a couple things that you guys should know about me as far as school. I was a straight A student. I had a pretty, you know, my GPA is irrelevant. We're not going to go down that road. I never missed a day of high school. And that's a fact. I never missed a single day of high school. I went to school every day. I did not miss a single day. Like, and yes, there were times where I was sick. Yes, there were times where I was really sick. You know, like I had the flu or whatever. Like, I went to school and got what I could out of it. And my teachers appreciated the effort that I put in. See, that's the thing with some of you guys that are younger. You got to understand how much easier school will become if you just do what they ask you. And you make, because you got to understand, from the point of view of a teacher, like, they are a person that is just trying to do a job. You know? They get up early, they prepare notes and everything. You know what I'm going to do? I don't want to, like, confine us to a box tonight here as far as what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to change the title of this. I'm still going to cover everything that I said I was going to. But we're going to change the name of the stream to Free Discussion, Consciousness, and More. Because Tutu may feel like talking about velociraptors. I don't know. You know, I feel like it'd be easier for us to just kind of chill and talk about whatever. Like, kind of Joe Rogan style here, right? Without any real direction, and you just kind of let the conversation guide itself. I feel like that's probably what we should do with this right now, and I feel like it would make things a little bit more enjoyable. So you guys can say whatever you want in the chat, you know, as far as questions or like you got something on your mind. Like we'll make this a little bit more relaxed as opposed to confined. But I'll still touch on the stuff that I wanted to talk about, of course. But yeah, history's cool. Like, could you imagine something like World War II happening now, like on that scale? That's what I always think about, is like, how wild would it be to see like 2/3 of the Earth fighting itself? Like, that's nuts.
I feel like it'd be worse since like all the advancements we have.
You don't know? You never asked the question, Tutu, as far as your math test?
Well, you said we could ask any question.
Yeah, fair enough. I did say that. Zion, yeah, I know about Skinwalker Ranch.
I know nothing about
talking
this
to my
stuff.
buddy Rob. I hadn't seen him in a while. It was like a year, and he was doing work out by my house yesterday. So I drove down the road to kind of like shoot the breeze with him for like, I don't know, it was like 45 minutes. We were chit-chatting out in front of this like random house he was working at. Does like HVAC and stuff. And he's like super critically, scientifically minded. And he says to me, he's like, you know, Tom, I'm starting to get into like the paranormal. I'm starting to think that like maybe you're right about a lot of the things that you've been saying to me for like the past few years. And he told me why. And he was bringing up Skinwalker Ranch and all these things, and I was like, dude, I'm way ahead of you, man. I was like, you're talking to me about Skinwalker Ranch. I'll tell you about Skinwalker Ranch. Like, what do you want to know?
Can you tell me about it?
So yeah, you know what? And I think this is a good opportunity for us to actually go to the web browser. So we'll use Wikipedia just so we can get more of an exact piece of information here.
Oh, I actually went there and just changed everything.
Oh, you're a savage. Why would you ever do something like that? Okay, so let's see. I'm on.
I actually sped run Wikipedia.
Tutu, what are you seeing on my stream right now? Just out of curiosity.
Just a plane and a YouTube tab.
There we go. Oh, you guys are probably seeing a black screen. Uno momento, por favor. Yeah, bear with me for a second. I'm going to change the window capture real quick. There we go. Alright, so I'll read this to you guys. Skinwalker Ranch, also known as Sherman Ranch. It's a property located on approximately 512 acres southeast of Ballard, Utah, that is reputed to be the site of paranormal and UFO-related activities. Its name is taken, from the Skinwalker of Navajo legend concerning vengeful shaman. So it's a Native American legend, this thing called the Skinwalker. This paranormal entity that like wreaks havoc across the land. Now, some people say this is the most paranormal place on Earth. Like, there are places where like you have UFO activity. There are places where you have hauntings. There are places where just other things that kind of can't be categorized happen. Now, take all of those things at once and put them in one spot. That is this. What's up, April? How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Happy to have you. We like new people here. Glad you could join us.
What is like the definition of paranormal? Because I've always thought of paranormal like ghosts.
Right. No, that's so you're right and wrong because there's more. You're not wrong though. Paranormal really just means things that go outside the realm of explanation, and they seem to be evasive as far as us trying to scientifically examine it. For example, like, no one's recreated a ghost in a lab. No one has captured a ghost in a jar and studied it. Like, it's the unexplained. Extrasensory perception, telekinesis, high strangeness, time slips, anything that you could call weird is really
There's some... When I was younger, like, scientists have, like, explained that it can't happen, but I would dream what we were doing the next day at school, and it would happen.
Yeah, that's happened to me
weird.
too, man. Like, I know a lot of people that have had shared dreams with people, and I'll tell you an interesting one, right? You guys have heard me mention DMT recently, dimethyltryptamine.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what that standard for, but that was insane yesterday. I think it broke my computer also. Or something.
And dimethyltryptamine. Chemical substance that occurs in many plants and animals, and which is both a derivative and a structural analog of tryptamine. It is used as a recreational psychedelic drug and prepared by various cultures for ritual purposes as an entheogen. So, it's like the most hallucinogenic substance on the face of the earth. Like, this stuff will shoot you into the Matrix. Like, you know.
So I have a chance of just going outside, eating a plant, and like getting high off of this stuff.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, like yes and no. I mean, it's got to be prepared a certain way and such. But what's it Zion had said? Yeah. What about the travel? Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here, Zion. We'll touch on that stuff. But yeah, it's believed that Skinwalker Ranch was cursed by Native Americans, and that's why it's so funky over there as far as everything that's happening. And they, it was owned by Robert Bigelow, who owns an aerospace company. They did studies there. They had witnessed lights that were not giving off like photons. There's all types of weird stuff that happened there. No, you're good, man. You're totally good. I think it's pretty convincing.
So my cousin was at our grandma's house once,
right?
And apparently he just woke up middle of the night, and he saw something that was like translucent. I think it was just like walk through the hallway thing that they had like between the living room and the kitchen and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear that story from them.
Similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's seen some stuff like that. He's seen beyond that actually. I've seen some stuff too.
I haven't really seen anything like this, but
well, I have some theories as far as like what all of it is. Science does seem to support the idea of higher dimensions. And that's why that was just originally in the title. But it's like there could be like a veil between us and these higher dimensions. Where are they per se, and how to describe where there is. Like, I can be like, oh, my house is to the west, of this landmark. For us to describe where these higher dimensions are in relation to like our universe and plane of existence, I don't really know how to begin to describe that. They could be layered like literally right on top of us. Why we can't see them, I don't know. We would have to figure out the structure of the universe. That's where
could they be like so since we can only perceive like 3D stuff?
Yeah. Zion.
What if they were like just like different dimension, and they could still? Yeah.
Well, that's a really popular idea right now. Is that like some of these alien visitations, these sightings, and these beings showing up, like they may not necessarily be from other planets. And it's kind of a weird and almost scary thought, but like I'm currently of the belief that it's both. I'm currently of the belief that some of the visitations here are beings that are coming from other planets that have figured out how to traverse time and space in such a way that they can get here from a vast distance without any real issue. And then there are some beings that are coming here from somewhere completely different, and they may not even be like physical matter. They could be like something we just absolutely don't even have a category for. Yeah, and the missing 411 thing is really interesting, Zion. David Paulides wrote that book, multiple books. He used to be a police officer, I think.
Is that like a missing plane thing?
No, so Missing 411 is a series of books, and there's even documentaries, where it studies all of these wild disappearances that have happened in national forests. It started with just the ones in the United States, but he started finding clusters and patterns. But like some of the stories are really weird. For example, like, alright, so this woman is walking... Wait, what did Toaster say? I wish I could understand this, but I just always think everything happens for a reason, or there's always a scientific reason for something. That's fine, man. Like, I'm searching for all the answers. That's just where I'm at. I have things that I lean towards, though. What's that?
As follows. Scientific reasoning is we can only perceive third-dimensional objects, correct? Like, well, that's only because scientists haven't been able to capture the lightning in a jar that is perceiving higher dimensional objects, and entities and such. And
but we don't know why.
Say that things that happen in dreams are just memories and constructions made by your own mind, but they could be something else. Once again, science hasn't captured lightning in a jar yet.
Right. No, it hasn't. Like, we only have the human perspective. Like, for anybody to sit here and say that science has conclusively figured out anything is preposterous, honestly. Like, there are certain things that are, like, a little bit more obvious than others. Like, we know that we breathe oxygen. You know, like there's certain things that are just like constants. Like we know that the Earth revolves around the sun. You know, like there's things that we know. But science is always changing. And I feel like the most unscientific thing that anybody could do or say is to kind of be like, well, this doesn't exist because we don't see it. Or if we can't observe it in a laboratory, then it's not real. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Like, your own, like, you know, emperor of emperors, Albert Einstein, used numbers equations and, you know, his chalkboard to tell us all that gravity waves existed back in, like, the 30s or the 40s. He dies, and decades later, just a couple years ago, we finally detect them because we finally had a device that could. Like, perhaps we have not built a device that can truly detect ghosts yet. Like, I think they're there. I've seen them myself. Like, not like a million times, but like enough to make me go, that's odd. And it's like, well, how do you know it wasn't a figment of your imagination? Because there were other people with me who saw it at the same time. And it wasn't just two people. Because when it's two people, you could be like, well, maybe it was a light aberration. Or maybe it was like, you know, an optical illusion of some kind. But when it's like 5, 6 people all standing in different parts of a room, seeing it from different angles, that kind of like eliminates a lot of those things, right? Like there's definitely something to it. Now, the missing 411 thing though, like I'll give you guys a really good example of a story. This one always like blew my mind. There's a little boy, I think he was like 3 years old, right? There, I forget what national forest they're in, but he's out there. He's camping with his parents. They're walking down a trail, right? She's holding his hand. She lets go of his hand. She doesn't even move her head. She looks to her left with her eyes. Here's like a rustling in the trees. She looks to her right. The child is gone. Like just look, gone. Like she would have seen him, okay? A child doesn't move that fast. All right? Like that doesn't make any sense.
And channeled his inner Usain Bolt.
Right? Like not like beyond that, dude. Like literally turn on speed hacks or something. So now where this really gets odd is how long the child's missing for, right? So like 4 to 5 days go by. And this is another one of those strange things where this apparently happens a lot during these kinds of cases. Somebody goes missing, and then when the rescue team and the search team go out to try to find these people, the weather suddenly turns like violent. Like just out of nowhere, there's like a snowstorm, or it's pouring. There's friggin' mudslides. Like, dude, like for no reason, right? They like there's an area that they're combing, right? And there's this one particular area that they have searched over multiple times during the course of this week. They look at it one last time after like 5 days, okay? And we're talking about a snowstorm here. A 3-year-old child is missing out in a snowstorm for 5 days. They're dead. They're dead, right? No. They find the child at an elevation like 1,500 feet higher than where he went missing. All his clothes are intact. His body temperature is normal. He's fed. No frostbite. No injuries. No dehydration. Nothing. He's fine. And they find him, like, on the top of, like, a cliff. How do you explain that? Like, listen, I don't know what did that, but it wasn't normal. Okay? A child is not climbing 1,500 feet in a snowstorm at 3 years old with no food, no water, over the course of a week, and then lives to tell about it, and is hydrated, and is fed, and doesn't have frostbite. Like, please, like somebody tell me how that happens.
The only thing that would make sense is like the dehydration thing.
Right, because of the snow. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that. We're talking about a 3-year-old here. You think the 3-year-old was like, oh, great, I can use this snow to keep myself hydrated. No!
True.
Probably doesn't even know what that means, you know? And then it gets even weirder. When they ask the child where he was, you know what he tells them? He goes, oh, I was with Mr. Wolf. I went to his house. Mr. Wolf? Mr. Wolf's house? Like, who the fuck is that? Like, talking about, like, you know, a personified animal creature of some kind. Like, that's bizarre, dude. Like, And that's just one, right? So, like, that's just one story. There's, like, there's hundreds of these, if not thousands. Like, Missing 411 is fascinating. I highly recommend the books. I have all of them. I have all the books. Like,
well, Mr. Wolf is a book or a movie.
Well, I think it's I think it's a screen memory. So
what do you mean?
So in alien abduction cases, a lot of times people have these weird ass memories of seeing like an animal or like things that are like they just have a specific memory of like an owl being at their window. It's a screen memory, and that wasn't an owl outside their window. It was something else.
You think the child was abducted or
Yes,
something?
I do. Yep. Why? I don't know. What they did to him? I don't know. But it just doesn't make sense. Like, and there's other cases too. So like he's done some Missing 411 stuff that spills out of the national forests and goes into like suburban areas, which in a lot of ways is even weirder because there's a lot more people around. There's a higher population density. There's a lot more activity. Guy goes to a hockey game. This is one of my favorite ones because this one creeps me the hell out. Guy goes to a hockey game. Okay, meets some friends there. They watch the game. They depart. He goes outside of the venue where he was watching the hockey game at, and he calls his girlfriend to get picked up. He's like, I'm on this street, right? She is 2 streets away. She gets there, and he's not there. And she's like, okay, where is he? Calling, right? And like 15 minutes later, he calls back, and he's like freaking out. And he starts saying things like, I think someone's following me, and blah, 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 blah. She's like, where are you? And before he can even answer, she says that it sounded like he got pulled up into the air. Like she just heard a bunch of wind, just like, whoosh, and he was never seen again. It's creepy. Like, that's really scary. That's scary as fuck. It is. Like, that's terrifying to think about. She said it literally sounded like his cell phone got pulled up into the air and was dropped out of the air and then just went blank. Just went silent. And she never heard from him again. No evidence. No nothing. Like, and he's on a public street. So how does he get from a public street to some random location, says he's getting followed by somebody, and then they hear this noise? None of this adds up. None of it. It's beyond weird. Now,
everything's beyond weird mostly, but
oh yeah, it's I just don't have an explanation for it. So here, while I'm looking at the live chat, so dimethyltryptamine, though, we'll go back to that real quick. There's an interesting story. Like, again, people are like, oh, if you take like acid or shrooms or anything that makes you trip, you know, you're hallucinating, you're having an experience. But you know what? I think here. I'm just gonna show this video. If I get demonetized for it, I get demonetized for it. Big deal. I really think, like, in order for me to really like give this story any sort of justice, I feel like you guys should just watch the video. I just need to find the actual video. It shouldn't take me long. It's really interesting. I think he's a comedian. It's called Tales from the Trip. It's actually pretty cool. It's from Comedy Central, I believe. The show. That's not
Comedy Central.
It's not a show. It's from their YouTube channel. It's like a playlist. The playlist is called Tales from the Trip, and it's about this purple lady.
Purple lady.
Yeah. DMT always shows Shane Moss, the same purple woman, on his trips. Tales from the Trip. All right. So.
Oh, so that's what that means.
Let's play the video. Shout out to Shane and shout out to Comedy Central. I think it's Comedy Central.
There's the purple lady.
All right, get ready for this one. This is really interesting stuff. Gamers World. Someone in my church died in the church a few years ago, and one night I was in my church in the basement. I was walking past one of the doors, and it just swung open, and there was something. Whoa. Well, something walking past the door, and it was a black figure, and I still don't know what it was. Oh my god, dude. I've had some experiences. I personally
wouldn't be going in a basement in the first place.
That reminds me of that thing you saw at the top of my stairs.
Oh god.
Everybody who's been to my house has seen that thing.
Yeah, I saw that in your house. Yep. I remember, because I thought it was... yeah, I saw something at the top of his steps, and I was like, at the time, I thought it was his cat. Come to find out, he didn't have a cat. at the time. You didn't have a pet at the time. Right? Wasn't that how it went?
No, it
I
was
told
like
your
a
sister something
full-bodied
like that.
person, and you thought it was me, and then you came upstairs
Oh, that
and realized I
one.
was in the room
Yeah,
just sleeping or
yeah,
something.
yep.
Like,
Yep, I remember that. But I also saw like smaller stuff too, that I thought were animals.
right.
And at the time, you did not have a pet. Like, it was weird. Whatever. All right, so here, let's watch this video. And again, I'll give you the premise. So it's the idea that when you do DMT, it's not actually just a hallucination, but it's shooting your consciousness into another dimension. Okay? So keep that in mind when you're watching this. Pay very close attention to what he says.
Sucked into that purple fabric, and then I was in this other dimension. Hi, my name is Shane Moss, and this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. When I first started
He's a
smoking
funny dude.
DMT, I was going to these different dimensions and seeing these different beings, and I kind of thought it was all in my head. It doesn't look like that when you're in the experience, but it's how I rationalized it to myself afterwards. I would be talking with these beings that were seemingly giving me all of this information that I could never remember. And I was like, well, you need to show me something to prove that you're outside of my head. About the 20th time that I smoked DMT, I was all of a sudden in this 50s kitchen. There was a boy sat down in the kitchen. It was like he was in trouble or something, and his father wanted to tell him something, but he didn't know how. His father came up, and he just went like this. The kitchen just collapsed and deconstructed into a movie set, and it was revealed to the boy that I think was me, that he'd been living on a movie set his entire life. And then he could see the entire universe. He's taking all of this in, and then the universe just ripped open, and then there was this purple fabric behind it, and then I got sucked into that purple fabric, and then I was in this other dimension. And I was sitting there working with this guy in this other dimension that I think was me, and we had some sort of job, which is a real bummer. We were trying to figure out how to keep this portal open or this gateway open or something. We got done with work that day, and there was a carnival, and there's a Ferris wheel, and there's some guy playing a piano, and then this dancing purple gypsy woman comes out.
The dancing purple
and
gypsy
it's
woman.
like I've known her for lifetimes. Like I've spent thousands of lifetimes with this woman, and it's just been a while since I've
I just
seen her.
realized you were
We saw
ahead of
each
me
other,
in the
and
video.
right away I was like, oh
That's
my
all good.
God, it's so good to see you. And we caught up for a while, and then
I'll stay silent.
when the DMT was wearing off, she told me that everything was just going to be okay, and that all of this just keeps on repeating itself over and over again, so not to worry about it too much. We got sad that we were going to have to split up and I was going away again, and so to cheer me up, she just spun around and exploded into fractals that turned into like bats and different creatures that became everything in the universe, and then it became me, and I was everything, and then it got sucked back out, and it was just her spinning around again. She's like,
Gamers,
yeah.
I see what you're saying in
And
the
I
chat,
got
man.
out
That's
of it,
weird
and I was
too.
like, okay, well that was weird.
Had that
But
happen,
that's
that kind of
DMT
thing.
for you. There's always weird stuff like that happening, and you're interacting with these.
Get ready for the rest of this video,
The
everybody.
next night,
This is fascinating.
I went and I gave DMT to a friend for his first time. He'd never had DMT, and I didn't want to ruin anything by sharing anything about the experience with him. I wanted to go in there fresh. So I told him, here's this bowl, just smoke it for as long as you can. So he starts smoking this bowl, and he's coughing a lot. I can't tell how many hits he's getting, and I'm encouraging to keep going, and now he's having like 8, 10 hits. This is more than what I expected him to do. And he sits back and he just goes,
Supposed to take 3?
I had too much. I had too much. So it's a minute and a half in, and he's still going, I've had too much. And I'm thinking, he might have had too much. Then finally, he sits back, this smile comes on his face, and he is just like, oh, they love you here. And I was like, yeah, there's like a real sense of like love or going home or belonging or something. He's like, no, they love you, Shane. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, there's this purple woman in here, that says that she knows you really well, and she just wants you to know that she cares about you. I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm in this carnival, and there's this Ferris wheel, and this guy playing a piano, and there's this purple dancing gypsy woman that says that she knows you. I didn't talk for about 10 minutes, and then he got out of the experience, and I asked him about it, and he said that these little mechanical elf things scattered, and they were scared. He was scared of them. They were scared of him. When he heard my voice, they all started peeking out, and they're like,
"Is that Shane?"
And he was like, "Oh, you guys know Shane?" And they were like,
"Oh yeah, he comes in here all the time."
And that's when this purple woman came out and said that she had a message for me. I have no explanation for it. I've seen that purple woman at least 5 or 6 times. Since that, we have this strange relationship. She gets jealous of my girlfriend sometimes. And so I think I'm dating a woman in a different dimension, but I don't even ever remember her name. I'm pretty sure we've known each other for thousands of lifetimes. I have no idea what her name is, which I imagine is irritating. And then maybe that's why I'm always in trouble with her.
Tales from the...
Yeah. So, did you guys catch all that? Like, basically, he does DMT, right? And he sees this purple woman, feels like he's known her for, like, thousands of years, like, whatever. And then his friend does it for the first time and sees the exact same thing that he saw. Which is very, very, very hard to explain.
It's also
What's
weird
up,
because
Jim?
the little creature things knew him.
Right. Like, just a lot, like, it's just a bunch of weird stuff. Like, when people do those types of things, it's believed that, you know, it's in your own head. But this makes it seem more like, oh no, your consciousness is going to a place, and we can all visit it. You know, that kind of thing. It's just some wild stuff. So basically, yeah, if you're confused, guy does DMT, which is like acid. Okay, he sees a purple woman while he's hallucinating or tripping, as they would call it, right? And then his friend does it for the very first time and sees the same shit that he saw. It would be basically like if I went to bed tonight and I had a dream about a purple train that is shooting around a rainbow-colored mountain on Mars. And then Tutu hits me up tomorrow and on Discord, and he's like, Cortex, I had this weird dream about a purple train shooting around a rainbow mountain on Mars. Like, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, it's weird. It's hard to explain. It's the idea that consciousness is not actually, like, you're not actually tripping on DMT. You're actually shooting your consciousness into a different dimension.
I don't even dream. I like sleep really deep. That I don't dream.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I haven't dreamed in forever.
No, but you dream every night. You just don't remember it. That's how it works. Like, you do dream. You're just not remembering it. But you dream every time you sleep. Every time. Some people believe that when you dream, that's the same thing as your consciousness leaving your body and going into a different dimension. I'll tell you guys something interesting that happened literally earlier this week. And I'm going to try to do this the best I can. My words are not going to do it any justice. It's just not going to work. Yeah, Joe Rogan talking about DMT? Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah, I'll do that in a second, for sure. So I'll tell you this. The other night... Well, it wasn't even at night. It was during the day. Yeah, well, it was approaching nighttime. I went... and was sitting in my room and went to sleep. Just took a little nap, right? Now, I've noticed for myself that if I fall asleep... Here, there may be an echo for a second. Yep, I'm sorry about that. Okay, so if I fall asleep a certain way, if my body is positioned a certain way, I have, like, extremely vivid dreams for some reason, right?
Did you accidentally do that, or...?
Yes. If I fall asleep on my back.
I can't.
And I don't know why that happens. But if, like, I sleep on my side, right?
But
But
could it be something like your Blaine somehow like moving backward or something?
Dude, I don't know what it is. Honestly, I'm gonna look into it. I haven't looked it up yet, but I'm gonna try to look it up and see what they say about it. But I fall asleep on my back, and I have like really, really intensely vivid dreams to the point where like there's times where I wake up and I'm like, am I living like another life somewhere in another dimension? Like seriously, like I've literally asked myself this question before. So I'm sleeping. What?
Isn't there somewhere there's like 3 other of you, but you'll like never see them?
Some people believe that. Yeah, that's like a whole nother side to this. So I'm sleeping, and I'm like, so the first thing that happens is that I'm in this like really nice house with like a bunch of people, and it's very vivid, like very vivid, like more vivid than vivid. It's like it's happening, right? It's real, and I am in this house. And there's there's like like everyone's telling us like, oh, there's tornadoes and we have to get down in the basement, blah blah blah. But I'm not scared at all. Like normally in a dream like this, I'm a little bit more amped up, I'm a little bit more anxious or whatever, and I wake up, maybe my heart's beating a little bit like faster than normal. No, I'm like completely relaxed, and I'm telling everybody, okay, go down in the basement, put these pillows over your heads to protect you from falling debris, blah blah. I'm like leading the pack, right? I'm like the man, like in this particular situation. And we look out the window and we see one of the tornadoes like coming by, and it just comes past us. Now, it is my belief that I was seeing that because not even an hour before I fell asleep, I was hearing about how there could be some potential storms the next day, which there were. Out in the Midwest, I'm kind of a weather nerd, so whenever there's like a tornado outbreak, I kind of like follow it and watch it live because I think it's wild and nuts, and I want to go storm chasing one day. So I'm seeing that. What's up, Vox? How are you? But then like everything just switches, and this is gonna be very, very, very hard for me to explain to you guys, but I'm gonna try my best. I will. I'm looking out the window of the same house. It's like a round room. It's almost like the Jedi Council room that Anakin was in the middle of when he was a kid, and Mace Windu was there and all. It doesn't look like that, but it's that same shape. It's just like a round room. And there's windows going all around it, right? That are connected to each other. And it's like there's like wood, like hardwood. It's like super nice. And outside is like an ocean, and there's people just kind of like splashing around in the water and like having a good time. And there's these giant whales like popping up out of the water that everybody's like riding. And I just the one thing I specifically remember is like the color blue that I saw in that vision, or whatever the hell you want to call it, a dream, anything. Like it was literally the most beautiful blue I have ever seen in my life. It was almost like a blue that doesn't exist. I swear to God, like I've never seen anything so blue in my life. Like it was so blue. It's very hard to explain. You would have had to have seen it, but like it was ultra hyper real. Like oh my God, it was very real to me. And like now I like feel like I'm like swimming almost to like the center of the room, and now the floor is water and a carpet at the same time, right? So like it looks like waves and stuff, but as I'm running my hands around it, like in my arms, like it's carpet, it's solid. I'm not like going into water, I'm not sinking down into it, I'm not getting submerged, I'm not getting wet, nothing of the sort. Anything normal like is gone at this point. So now in the middle of this happening, all of a sudden it dawns on me, I'm asleep. Like I'm like, but now I'm aware. In the middle of this dream. We'll just call it a dream because I don't know. It wasn't a dream though. Like it's more than a dream. Like it's beyond that. Like you would have had to have been in the experience to understand what I mean by that. Like I realized that I was asleep, and I started looking around, and I was just like, I think I'm having a lucid dream. Now lucid dreams are when you become aware of the fact that you're asleep in the middle of a dream, and you can start controlling things. You can it's like being in your own hyper-realistic sandbox video game, Sword Art Online times 50. Like, it's insane. It's like the Matrix on DMT. It's nuts. So, I put this to the test. I stand up, and I'm like, okay, I'm controlling my movements. I'm walking wherever I want. So I look, and I just have the thought, like, I'm going to teleport across the room. I teleport. And I'm just like, okay, this is happening. And I started just like doing things. I'm like, I'm going to manifest a cube. The cube will be like glass. It will be in front of me. Like, and it popped up, and I'm like, oh my god. And this is just all happening, and I'm like, this is berserk, dude. Like, I'm actually in this dream, and I'm controlling it. And then I woke up. Like, literally just as abruptly as it had come on, I literally just wake up. Oh, look who it is. It's Mando. Hi, Mando.
For some reason, when you started, like, at the very beginning of it, I had this weird feeling of, like, I can't really explain it, but I just had, like, a feeling of something.
What, when I started explaining all that?
Yeah.
Oh. Everybody say hi to Mando in the chat. She is from Korea, and she's very cool. I'm gonna go to Google Translate. I suggest all of you do the same so that
Just
we can...
copy her first message and it says hello.
What? Okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's what I thought it said. But I need to grab her second message. I don't know if she understands anything I'm
It
saying. It
says
right
hello, Cortex.
Hello, Mando. Hello, Mando. Let's see, Korean. HIJK, there it is. Enter text. Boom. Korean to English. Hello, Cortex. Hello, Mando. I'm gonna say hello to her. I'm gonna compliment her. Let's see. I don't know, Tutu, why don't you be the one that translates the,
Okay.
her messages? Because I have to keep, like, switching back and forth. It's like, I can't, it's not like a two-way thing.
She's just saying hello to, like, everyone.
Oh, cool. There we go. Yep. Happy to see that she came back. I was hoping she would. Yeah, like, here, we'll...
안녕 아름다운.
Let's play the Korean. Maybe I should just do that. I'll, like, play... You could hear that, right, Tutu? On the stream?
Barely, but I have my stream muted, so I don't hear you twice.
Okay. I'll just,
But
do this.
it was almost like a feeling of nostalgia or something.
What, when I was explaining all of that?
Yeah.
That's
Like
interesting.
I've been there, but I don't know.
If you have reoccurring dreams, it means that there's something that your mind is focused on consistently, usually, and that, or something that you need to take care of, you know, that kind of thing.
돌아오게
That
되어
was weird. You
기쁘다.
answered his question
Yeah.
before his chat came up on YouTube.
Oh, really? Well, I see it on my phone.
Mhm.
So here, I'll
Still.
play this for her too.
돌아오게 되어 기쁘다.
I'm sure she probably understands that. I said happy to have you back.
I've never actually heard or seen Korean before.
No, Korean's cool. Korean's a cool looking language. I know, like, that's one language where I don't know a single word in Korean, dude. Like,
She said you sounded like someone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's see. How about we try?
I don't know who it is though.
Try Control V.
Ah.
Oh, you sound a bit like Bill Burr. Ah, no kidding. Yo, that's the second time somebody has told me that.
I didn't know who that was.
Here, I'll play.
만도 소녀한국 채널 당신은 빌벌 같은 조금 소리.
That's funny.
What? That someone said that before?
Somebody else told me that before. Yeah, he's my favorite
I've
comedian.
never heard of him. So.
Oh, he's the funniest guy on earth. I swear to God, he's the funniest person ever. Yeah, I'll play I'll play the Joe Rogan. There's different clips of Joe Rogan talking about DMT, but we'll.
You said Mandalorian's Bill Burr.
Yeah, yes, he is actually in The Mandalorian. Yep.
Oh, is he that one trooper person? Then, like, season 2?
Yes. Redhead dude.
Yeah.
Alright, let me put this in the chat for her. I'm saying somebody else told me that.
누군가가 전에도 내가 그처럼 들린다고 말했어.
Alright, we're gonna play a video clip. Again. I just gotta
Put
figure out...
Korean subtitles on. You won't be able to. Never mind.
No, I
Can't.
could. No. I could. Depending on the video, I may be able to. Yes. So let's see. Joe Rogan. DMT. I'm totally gonna get.
Did you search?
Give me
Why
my
is there a VTuber thing?
What?
There's a VTuber thing in your recommended. About how to make a VTuber character
I don't know.
avatar thing.
Because I am into VR. Cortex, would you rather never play Battlefront 2 again or never do a 0 hour again? Never do
Oh,
Battlefront.
I know. Yeah.
Easy. I've played Battlefront so many times up to this point. You know, this is the 7th 0 hour. So.
And you have like almost 368, I think.
Is there a way to put this? How do I put this into a different language? I've never actually tried
You
to
can
do
like
it.
select the different language, but you have to. You could try to install something.
Subtitles.
It'll be in.
No.
Go to settings so you can actually.
I'm in settings. No, it's not gonna do it. It's not
Is
gonna
there
do
like
it.
1 second?
I'm sure I would like to put it into Korean for her so that she can actually like understand it. Unless
I'm
she...
gonna see if there's an extension.
Oh wait. Oh, the third one drips. My bad, dude. I didn't. 1, 2. What? The what is DMT from Joe Rogan? Okay. Now let me. I'll hit the translate on here. I've seen. Yeah, I just watched this the other day. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for the donation, Drips. Very much appreciated. I'll see. You guys can see what I'm doing in real time here. So she'll be able to see this too.
Is there subtitles for that?
No, not in Korean.
I tried to find something, but I couldn't find any. I don't know if it would go to Korean.
Oh, she said hello to Drips.
Only one that hasn't got a hello.
Let's say something super nice. Let's say we love you, friend.
Korean equals good. There we go.
우리는 당신을 사랑합니다, 친구.
What was that?
We love you, friend.
Oh, you played it.
Alright, let's play the video.
Is the story of DMT, or dimethyltryptamine. A simple compound found throughout nature.
She said it's
which
very
has
interesting.
profound effects on human consciousness.
Glad to
the
hear
most
that.
powerful psychedelic drug known to man. It's in every single ecosystem all over the world. It exists in plants and grasses, and it's everywhere. I mean, it's really the craziest
Turn it
drug
up a
to
bit.
be illegal everywhere
Wait, never
because
mind.
everyone's
Let me-
got it in their system. It's
Yeah,
like
you can hear it
everyone's
fine
holding.
on stream.
That was like Terrence McKenna's line. Yeah, and it's pretty intense stuff, man. If you do it, you will talk to
I'll be back. I gotta
intelligent
go do
beings from
something.
other dimensions for real. I mean, it sounds crazy. You would think that if there's something like that, that it would be on the front page. But it's amazing that people don't know about it. I mean, it's the most incredible experience. I mean, we are such an experience-obsessed society. I mean, everybody wants to go whitewater rafting, and people want to talk about, you know, my uncle climbed Mount Everest. It's all about experiences. We all want to ride roller coasters and see the craziest movies. There is a little powder, and you smoke this little powder, and it will change the way you look at everything. You won't care about UFOs. If a UFO landed right out there, I'd be like, wow, yeah, they're probably from another planet. Whatever. It's not DMT. DMT is 100,000 times crazier than that. It's like mushrooms times 1,000,000 plus aliens. That's what it's like. And literally, I mean, it sounds, it's crazier than you could possibly imagine or describe. If you take DMT, you will communicate with something, and it's so beyond description that me talking about it is like trying to explain a kaleidoscope to a blind man. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Like, there's no way you could explain it. I mean, it's so beyond anything you can explain. But something communicates with you when you do this stuff. And my words do it no justice. craziest thing about DMT, because DMT is literally like having a meeting with God. It's like having a meeting with divine, unbelievably wise, incredibly loving energy, like whatever it is, the source of everything. And it leaves you so humbled that after it's over, you have it's like literally like you're still you still look like you still wear the same clothes you are, but you're not really you anymore. I mean, you literally have been changed. You know, you have experienced something that very few humans experience. And the thought to me that people can go through their entire lives and not know about this is an incredible waste of time. It's like your life could be so much more positive and so much more interesting and fascinating, and you would be so much more humble and aware of what you really are and where you really stand if you just have this experience. The crazy thing is you can get alcohol everywhere. You can go to Duane Reade and buy a jug of wine and get effed up, you know? I mean, we have drugs that are available. I mean, how many times you talk to a girl, oh, I don't do drugs. Meanwhile, she's hammered, smoking a cigarette. You know, I mean, everybody, there's drugs, caffeine. I mean, I'm drinking a coffee right now. It's sanctioned. It's a sanctioned drug because it's great for capitalism. It keeps you going, it keeps you working. But there's there's drugs out there that are actually good for you. There's drugs out there that are actually good for your mind. I do drugs because I find the state that psychedelic drugs put you in very fascinating and very introspective, and you can learn a lot about yourself. You can learn about a lot about life because it removes you and your ego from the equation. You get to look at things from like a newborn's perspective. That's why I do it. I don't do anything like, I don't do coke or meth or anything dangerous, anything that's addictive. I have never done coke. I've never done speed. I've never done heroin. I won't do anything that can hurt you. But psychedelic drugs, they're very different. With this big blanket that we put on everything, we call everything drugs. That's a broad term that encompasses everything from like NyQuil to DMT. You know, I mean, they're all drugs. I mean, they all affect your consciousness. It's like, how do they affect your consciousness, though? I'm not interested in anything that messes me up. I'm not interested in anything that gives me brain damage or anything that makes me, addicted to it. I'm only interested in things that can alter my state of consciousness.
You should translate what you say.
It's very, very intense. But it's not dangerous. It's a human neurotransmitter. It's actually one of the most transient drugs ever exhibited in the body.
No, DMT is not addictive.
It down to baseline really quickly. Your body brings it down to baseline in like 10 to 15 minutes. It's really crazy.
What's that mean, down to baseline?
It means, like, say if you have it, you're high, you go to that dimension, whoa, it blows out, and then whoa, 15 minutes later, you're back normal. And the crazy thing is, it's just like dreams. You know, you wake up and you're like, the craziest dream was me and my buddy Mike, and we were kids, but we had a sled, and my mom was there. And then 5 minutes later, you're like, what the hell was my dream?
Yeah.
That's exactly what a DMT trip was like. It's like gold dust slipping through your fingers.
Jaden, there are people who do that, and I'd have to really mentally prepare myself for that again. I have done it.
What happened?
I've done DMT. I've done this. Now, I didn't do the breakthrough. The breakthrough is when you take 3 hits. I took 2 hits. It was my first time. They're like, dude, don't do 3 yet. So I did 2. And it was... listen, I'll tell you what it did to me. I don't remember a lot about the experience. I remember some things. But what I'll say that it did to me was that growing up, I was raised a Catholic. I used to have to go to Sunday school and, worship Jesus and all that, right? And I get a little bit older and I get fairly rebellious, and I'm like, nah, I'm not hip with that anymore. I think this is bullshit. I still think a lot of it is bullshit, but I think there's truth in every religion. But I was like, no, this isn't it. So I kind of have this like atheist stage of my life, and then I smoked DMT, and I went from being like an atheist to like a spiritual agnostic. I don't have all the answers. That's why I claim myself as an agnostic, because I don't know what's what. I don't know if there's a God. I don't know if the Christian religion is right. I don't know if the Muslim religion is right. I don't know if the Hindu or the Buddhist or any of the Eastern faiths compared to the Western faiths. Judaism, like anything. Zoroastrian. What is it? Zoroastrianism? What the hell? How do you say it? Let's see.
Never heard of it, so.
Zoroastrianism. I just couldn't remember how to say it properly. Zoroastrianism is one of the world's oldest continuously practiced religions, based on the teachings of the Iranian-speaking prophet Zoroaster, also known as Zarathustra in Avestan or Zarthost in modern Persia. So this is all like kind of near like Iraq, Iran, like that part of the world. What's up, Jar Jar Gaines? No, it's Korean. She's Korean. How much longer are you gonna be streaming? What's up, Admiral? I don't know, for a little while here. You know, a tad bit. You know, we're kind of doing like, we're talking about some interesting things, but we're kind of like free thought going here. You know, we're just kind of letting things ride. Instead of putting myself in a box and being like, this is the subject we are covering this evening, and that's all. Like, I decided to just kind of have a little bit of focus on some things while just kind of chilling. It's kind of like what Joe Rogan does. Joe Rogan, that's my favorite podcast. Like, shout out to the Joe Rogan podcast. Like, I listen to it every week. I listen, and I listen to Bill Burr's podcast very often.
Also, so going back to the paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
So like my dog, before we put her down because she was just old and stuff, she would freak out if we turned the fan off, just like our ceiling fan in our living room. We don't know why, but the day after we put her down, and I haven't done this in like years, and I still haven't after that. So like our light switch for the hallway and is right next to the switch that'll turn off the fan. So the day after, I went to turn the lights off and I hit that switch also, and I didn't do that for years and I haven't done it since.
That's interesting. Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, similar experiences and things that have happened. So the Wendigoon conspiracy iceberg, yeah, I know about that. Let's see here.
What?
Listen.
Cortex.
That's a long video though, man. And listen, alright, here's the deal with this. Let's save that for another time. The reason being is that I should probably do my own video on this, only because this is somebody else's content. And he's a YouTuber, and I feel like it would be like me taking it. Now, watching the Joe Rogan thing, that's the type of video that's really encouraged to be shared around. There's certain things that I can show on here. This is not one of them in long form, honestly. I think it's a little, it would be a little disrespectful of me to do that. I'm not trying to disappoint you or anything, but like I feel like that may not be the best idea. I'm not saying this dude would like come at me or anything, but it's not a good look for me to just build up an entire live stream all based off of other people's videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to like create an issue in that way. Here, let's see what she just said.
She just responded to what you said and said love you too.
Oh, she's cool, man. Like,
Drips is speaking Korean now?
Yeah. Well, good. I mean, again, this is just a person. There's just a language barrier. That's it, right? Like, we should just... Mando's cool. Do you live in Korea? I'm gonna take a guess and say that she currently lives in South Korea. Yeah, the chances of her being from North Korea are very slim. They have very limited internet access over there, and they would not be watching an American stream. No way. Which is unfortunate. There's good people over there, too. You know, I think it's cool, man, that like, talking to somebody that I couldn't maybe ever understand normally, and using the internet to communicate with them. I find it interesting. Whenever I'm sad, when I fall asleep, I go into a calm, peaceful galaxy, and a bright, peaceful being comes to me and comforts me, and it feels like complete peace, and I'll wake up hearing it say something in Hebrew.
What? That made no sense what you just said.
No, I'm reading what he just said. No, it does. Read it to yourself. It makes complete sense. Here, let's figure out what that says. It
says between peace in Hebrew.
How do you know it's Hebrew?
Because I know what Hebrew looks like.
Oh.
Between peace. Interesting. That's very interesting. I was not expecting that. There's ways to do it, like the character map.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, the character map. if you on your PC, hit the Windows button and then start typing in character
Window.
map, like you'll see it.
I don't use Windows. The window button. Alright, character map.
Okay, so.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Think I could name all of them?
No, and I prefer that you. North Korea. She says North Korea. We don't like them. Yeah. The government. I understand. It's not easy.
Mando's being a fugitive?
I've always wanted to visit South Korea and Japan specifically. Like Korea is very similar to Japan in a lot of ways. I mean, look at their languages, right? So let's open up another tab here.
Apparently Japanese
Korean,
used to be like
Japanese.
symbols to represent stuff. Photo by NASA Imagery Library.
Well, I want a language comparison here.
Ah. Women.
Let's see what it looks. 5 reasons why you should learn Korean and Japanese sequentially or simultaneously. Again, when I
Korean is a very difficult language.
I've heard that. I've heard Korean is very difficult to learn.
South Korea.
I heard some of it's
and
really
North Korea
hard to
different
pronounce.
languages.
Yeah, they have different dialects. Yeah. I've seen that same being outside of sleep, such as one time I got very high and passed out and woke up, turned around and saw myself, and I think I died, and I saw that glowing being talking to me. You probably had an out-of-body experience.
What same being?
The one he was talking about earlier when he falls asleep and it says something to him in Hebrew.
Ah.
So, I don't know. It's obvious to my eye that the Japanese language, the Chinese language, and the Korean language, they look similar, right? Like they're different. They're different, but they have they seem like they come from like the same language gene pool, so to speak. Like here's Korean on the left. Here's Japanese.
Japanese, they seem to like
And this is Chinese.
separate
right here.
stuff.
I know what they look like though. Like Japanese, I recognize immediately, and Korean, and I just know what they look like.
Japanese has a symbol that looks like a smiley face.
That is true. Yes, they do. I used to know some Japanese back when I was like a little kid and was like going through like a hardcore like anime phase because of Toonami on Cartoon Network. Whoops, we're gonna wanna switch that. Korea is very similar.
I can say yes in Japanese, and that's about it.
I would love to visit you in Korea. I have never met anyone from there before. I'm sure she can
I've
see.
never met anyone out of the U.S.
No.
No.
Well, I have. I mean, I've been to Mexico, Cayman Islands, Jamaica, so I did meet people.
I've been to Tennessee and Florida.
People in Mexico were like really, really cool, honestly. Like,
I've
they
been
were
to
super
Tennessee and Florida.
cool. That's it? Oh.
Yep.
Alright, Drips. I don't know if the stream will still be here, but if not, man, thank you for chilling as always, bro.
I'm terrible with, like,
Gamers
horror
World says,
stuff.
I was just scrolling through your vids and realized your VR chat Galaxy thumbnail is the exact same place I go to. That's interesting, bro.
Man goes to VR chat?
Right? Like, he
In
does
real
VR
life?
chat in his dreams? Trash.
24-hour challenge in VR chat in real life?
Oh my god, I can't, dude. Like, there's a possibility I could wake up tomorrow and my headset will be here. It's possible. I doubt it. I'm thinking Monday.
What if it arrives at my house somehow?
She says, I hope we can meet.
What if it arrives at my house?
I'm coming. Coming to grab it.
I wonder what the chances of that happening are.
0.
No, there's always a chance for anything.
0.00000 like literally.
A Google amount of O's.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Let's use a green heart because it's like this the popular color on my channel. Yeah, man. Like I don't know if I've ever like met anybody that is from Korea that lives in. I think she's the first like person that I've talked to on the internet that's like in Korea, that's from Korea, that speaks Korean, that doesn't know much English, that is like communicating with me. Pretty sure that's a first. Pretty cool.
I mean, I guess the only person I know like out of country is like German, if he is German, or if I'm just being clickbaited, because he said he doesn't even know German. Like, how dare he?
I don't know what she's trying to say. She said Gart odds.
German man doesn't know German.
I mean,
Probably great odds.
yeah, we can make it. We can...
Great odds that the headset arrives at my house. I would like
yeah,
that.
right. No. No.
우리는 그것을 일어날 수 있습니다.
That's screwed up because it says Nake instead of make. There we
I've
go.
never realized how
우리는
Korean
그것을
sounds.
실현할 수 있습니다.
Restart it.
우리는 그것을 실현할 수 있습니다.
What's worse, the Mexican or Korean border? I would probably say the Mexican-United States border because of the drug trade and the cartels, honestly. That would probably be, technically, a lot more danger.
Is Mexico like North or South America?
It's not South America, it's North America, technically.
Oh.
It's considered North America, but it's the southern part of North America, the most southern part of the continent. And then there's...
Doesn't some of it like leak into South America or something?
Oh, it connects. Or like, you know, it's like, it's very closely related to, I guess. Not that it's connected, but trade and other things. So let's see. What are the odds? We could video chat sometime soon on computer.
Watch this man just get like catfished.
곧 컴퓨터에서 영상 채팅을 할 수 있습니다.
Nah, man, like she has a YouTube channel. Like we've done our research. She's
I
a person. She's real.
know. Just a man staring at you though.
I mean, I'm not simping or anything. I'm just saying it'd be cool to have like a fucking pen pal or something. That's like what this is. How about when I save up more money?
더 많은 돈을
Man's
모을
parents are
때,
gonna be confused while he's going to Korea.
더 많은 돈을 모을 때,
You should like totally stop talking over the Korean. It like literally becomes so fucking. I can't even imagine what that sounds like. Nah, Toaster. Like she's a real person, bro. Like we've done our research. She streams and stuff, dude. Like she's like a YouTuber. She doesn't have like a lot of subs, but like she does post videos and she is real. I subbed to her. Like she's real.
I think I did.
You know. To save more money. I am saving money now, always. Oh, wait, oh. I save money whenever I can.
나는 내가 할 수 있을 때마다 돈을 저축한다.
I feel like the difficulty with the Korean language would probably be trying to do some of the pronunciations that we're not used to, as far as you know.
Isn't
certain
apparently
sounds.
like English the hardest language though? Just because
That's
of like
what
all
they
the
say.
rules we have.
Well, it's also the fact that we have words that, like, one word will have, like, 10 different meanings. Like,
Ah.
Or like you, or not, no, let me think of a better example. Like, there, and then there, and then there, they sound the same, but there's different spellings.
Like two.
Somebody from another country that watches.
What is Korea's currency?
It's a good question. I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Korea. I said Korea once.
Yeah, you did. Trash? Like actual trash?
I'm not getting anything.
See what happens if we search her. A Mando girl, and then we get the chick from The Mandalorian. Ugh. Christ.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, look, Radiohead. Hell yes.
How did you get radio?
I am subscribed to 966 YouTube channels.
Oh, that says for you. $1. You wanna know how much $1 is in Korea currency?
How much?
1,129.6301. Oh, that's South Korea. Let me find North Korea. I don't know if they're different though.
That's crazy. It's obviously like a little bit of a...
South Korea. Let me find.
There's some confusion there, I would imagine.
Is North and South
There's some confusion.
Korea.
Where is just related to friends? No.
Currency.
Ah.
They have won. Like that's their currency is won.
물론이야.
WON. Won.
WON, won?
Yeah, won. Don't know how it's pronounced though.
So when we put money, it's done.
돈.
Done. Done. So hello. Hello is long.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요.
That seems like look how long that is.
In my history class, or more geography now, we was learning about conflicts, and we had to make
안녕.
like Somalian posters. Somalia has like A's in every word.
만도 소녀.
I don't know why.
So she is Mando Sunyo. Mando Sunyo. I'm gonna learn some Korean, alright? Like, that's what we're doing. I'm learning Korean live. You will see me someday.
Ryan's gonna be speaking fluent Korean tomorrow.
Hell yes.
네.
Nay. Nay.
Speak better Korean than the actual Korean.
Like, how is hello that super long word, and yes I will is nay?
네.
That's so, like, I could see where this would become difficult. Like, it's like really hard to
Well,
figure
I mean,
out.
like, that's kind of like in Japanese, where like anything with like yes in it almost is hi. Like yes sir, yes, yeah, they're all the same thing. Yes ma'am, it's hi.
We should get her to come out to the United States, and I'll do a blog video. Here, I'll say this to her.
그런 다음 미국을 방문해야
A
합니다.
blog video?
A vlog!
Oh.
Vlog! Vlog! Like, with a V. You know, video blog. You know, that thing that people do with videos, but they're blogs, but they're clips. Like, ugh.
I'm smart sometimes.
Yeah, see, she knows. It's just difficult because of money.
In chat, she just put like the same character 15 times.
Good.
Like 5 times.
Good.
I don't know how it works.
내
Oh, it means
모든
ha
것이
ha
너무
ha ha.
How do you
비싸요.
manage to talk over every time I hit the Korean button?
내 모든 것이 너무 비싸요.
It's like you have like a superpower. It's unbelievable, bro. It's like a crazy like ability that you have. It's fucking nuts. Here, I'm gonna try to like, I'm gonna copy all of that at once and see what happens. This is probably gonna look ridiculous, but I'll like, because it's gonna say Mando Girl like a bunch of times. Someday you'll see me. It's all about money. Can't wait. Ha ha ha. It will be great. Yeah, there we go. You are sweet.
당신은 달콤합니다.
I wonder how that sounds to her though. Like when I hit that button, if the voice is like easy for her. Have I been to Alcatraz? No, I have not been. I know someone who has though.
Why would? Is he talking about like a different Alcatraz or something?
No, there's one Alcatraz. We're talking about Alcatraz. Like it's a museum, I'm pretty sure at this point. Like so you can go visit it. It's just like a place you can visit. All right, so since we're live, I'll give you guys a small here. I'll show you guys the meditation music I was working on.
You're making meditation music?
Yes. Yeah. Why there's this weird buzzing on this particular track, I don't know. But just once it kicks in, it's fine. I'm just experimenting with it though. There's bells and chimes and stuff.
Oh, that bell sounds weird. It's like pulsing. Almost.
Yeah, I just started like messing with it the other day.
I don't even know how to meditate. I'm probably never going to.
And then the song here, official preview for you guys. I told you guys I'm gonna post a full song on the channel, so it's in the works. But I'll let you guys. Some of you guys heard this the other day, but I'll play it. Some of it.
I've had early access to like the whole thing almost, basically.
So I got that little riff going on, but the song starts off like
You changed it. I'm probably not even thinking of the. Never mind.
and then I have the effector on here so I can do some stuff.
No, I have heard it. Internet breaking or is it just cutting?
What?
My internet's not breaking.
I can mess around with it in real time too.
It's like bass boosted to where everyone's house is shaking.
Like I'm doing that right now, just like it's a slider.
Oh.
But yeah, it's just like that's the kind of cool stuff you can do like in the like just live. All-time favorite food? Chicken. Like I don't know, I love chicken. Like chicken parmesan. Steak and sushi. That's right. She likes steak and sushi.
스테이크와 초밥.
I've never had sushi.
He said that's horror music. No, steak and sushi is delicious. So
Like real
good.
sushi with just like raw fish.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm telling you. It's really good.
그것은 꽤 편안하게.
I'm gonna have to let her know how I feel about sushi, guys.
Is it possible to get sick from sushi?
Yeah, but it's rare.
나는 초밥을 좋아한다.
Ah.
이 맛있어요.
Yeah, sushi's delicious, dude. My next profile picture should be a UFO with the 0 hour logo on it. I'm working on a logo right now. I got some designs. I'm also in contact with some people through a service called Fiverr. Kind of like looking at other artists. Yeah, Fiverr. Like they are actually I have somebody designing a logo for me, and then I may combine what I'm working on with theirs, because it's like, you know, free reign. It's up to me what I do with the design after they do it. I just wanted to see another person's ideas besides my own. Like I can do all this stuff.
There's a lot of,
but I wanted to see.
there's a lot of videos about Fiverr.
Fiverr rocks.
This guy got like scammed by it once.
Really?
Yeah. It was about like getting you to a certain rank in a game, and then he was like, I gotta go, and then he never came back.
So like this, so with this particular service, it's basically like there's people who design logos and different things, or like even intros for YouTube channels, and I'll be like, okay, so what I want you to do is, let's say I want there to be a UFO and a triangle in my logo, and my channel's name is Cortex Zero, go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then they just come up with something, and then you can do revisions. It's you pay for the service. What's the best place I've been to?
Oh, there's this thing
Cozumel,
of like
Mexico. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen in my life. Easily. It was incredible. The water was so blue. Like, you have no idea.
there's
really cool.
There's this thumbnail of this video, and it says, please enter your phone number, and it's on like a slider, so you have to go like number my number to find it.
That's dumb. She's talking about going to Malaysia or Japan.
나는 도쿄를
Can't you just
방문하고
drive to
싶다.
Japan?
You did it
And then
again.
I was like, wait, that's impossible.
You did it again.
나는 도쿄를 방문하고 싶다.
And oh my god, if I knock my vape off my table one more time, I'm gonna die, bro. Like, I'm gonna freak out. Like,
그리고 이탈리아.
yeah, I want to visit Italy too. Italy's really cool. Time is it? I gotta get up for work, but cheese kind of sucks. Where's my vape juice?
Why am I so good at just like talking over everything?
I
that
don't
can
know
happen?
how you managed to do that. I don't know. And you know the funny thing is, like, everybody in the chat, like, they know it too. They're like, God damn it, Toot Toot.
I don't even mean to. It just happens. That's the thing.
No, you're just a goddamn animal. Like, evil as hell. Like,
I can sense everything.
no, you can simp everything.
No.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh god, I just got banned on Twitch. It's like, like, apparently if you talk about simping on Twitch, you like get banned or something. I don't know.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's butt. Doesn't make any sense. Cortex should do a version of Zero Hour that isn't live. He's talking in more depth about, say, Roswell. Well, that's kind of like what Podcast Zero's for. I just haven't done any episodes recently, but I need to get on a more regular schedule with that, which I will. And that's kind of stuff that you guys could be able to, like, listen to while you're working, or like you're at lunch at school, or like you're studying and you just kind of want something on in the background to kind of get your brain going. Like, and again, I'm gonna upload the meditation music and everything because I feel like that'd be kind of cool. I never tried making anything like that.
We can't really listen to music or anything during lunch, and we can't really like just have our stuff out.
Really? That sounds pretty common.
나는
Like in
이탈리아의
my art
가족이
class,
있다.
'cause I didn't have any other thing to take.
나는 이탈리아에 가족이 있다.
Is there like a delay or something?
Probably.
Oh my fuck. I don't know how you
Because
do
it
it.
was after you screamed at me, I heard it.
Let's see. I have to go to bed soon.
이 곧 사러 가야 해요.
Yeah. So they're working on technology though, where like I could be speaking in English right now, and on her end on YouTube, she's hearing it in Korean. There will be a delay as a result of it, because it has to literally take it and turn it into the other language. But they are working on that, where like I could literally be streaming and just, you know, I'm just talking, and she's literally hearing it in Korean. They just quoted me as saying Tutu in caps, Cortex 2021.
I know.
How is the tequila in Mexico? So I didn't drink tequila. I actually had Dos Equis, and I had a pina colada. Now, don't tell anybody though, because I was 16 at the time. Like, a little bit. I didn't get hammered or anything. I didn't really like get drunk like that until I was like 18, 19 years old. I wasn't really like doing much of anything really, but I had a couple beers. Yeah, I was like, I'm in Mexico, super nice out. Somebody handed me a beer. I'm like, I'm drinking that beer. Like, it was really simple. It was hot out, and I was thirsty. That's it. It's a drink. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to have, you know, something to quench my, like, thirst. I was parched. I had a desert forming in my mouth. Like, I needed that. You know? That's it. That's all it is. No big deal. Like, at all.
No, that'd be too much.
No big deal. No one's gonna...
That'd be too much yelling if you listen to what he says.
Every time Tutu talks over you, you gotta yell at him? Okay. Do you go to street parties? I went to one on Halloween, actually. Because of COVID, they threw a street party that was, like, meant to, you know, social distance and all that jazz, right? Also, beer isn't good for rehydration. No, but it makes you feel like it is when you're drinking it. Because it's cold. You know, it's not necessarily good for hydration, but, you must meet in Venice.
Cortex, you must meet in Venice.
That's the English one.
베니스에서 만나야 하는 PJ.
There's about to be too much yelling.
Let's see, I'm gonna say, I will take you out. What in the fuck just happened? Like, why did it just go scrolling all the way down the page? That doesn't even, like, compute. I'm gonna have to... I will take you out to eat in Venice. There we go.
I think you may have been like not on the typing thing of it and just kept hitting spacebar.
베니스에서 먹으러 데리고 나가겠습니다.
There we go.
I should have just kept talking.
Yeah, right. That'd be badass though. Meet like your pen pal that lives in Korea and then go to Italy and have something to eat. Like, the hell? Like, why not, dude? Sounds like a good time to me. Like, I don't know about you guys, but...
Is Venice in Italy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's... Oh, boy. You need to go to school. It would be lovely.
I am in school. We only just started learning about geography.
Stay there for a long time. So, like, I don't know.
Well, I'm not even in high school, so I still have a while.
이거 진짜 할 거예요, 하하.
There we go. It even put my haha. I like that. It was like...
이거 진짜 할 거예요, 하하.
Yeah, the haha is just like one symbol over and over.
I put 3 ha-has and it only gave me 2. False translation? Calling Google?
Maybe it's because you didn't spacebar them.
I don't know. Hi,
that
Lily.
didn't make sense.
You should stream Son of Rome. I could look into that. Because obviously now I have Fallen Order and Squadrons and Dead Space and like I got all this stuff. I'm gonna have to like find the time to do it. You know?
Means you don't have to make videos and not live stream. Man makes video while live streaming. Insane multitask.
I'm about to ask her if she has Instagram. Let's see what it says.
인스타그램 있어요.
This whole stream has turned into me talking to Amanda. It has, but I mean, like, we're all learning a little bit, right? This is like...
No, I don't know Korean so far.
It's a learning experience. It's a learning experience for everybody. I still know absolutely no Korean. I remember none of it. I'm not, like, actively trying to remember it, because it's just, like, not really going to get
Actually,
me
there's two things I can say in Japanese.
I can say a few things in Japanese.
I can say yes and good morning.
Funky drunk Battlefront. Oh, man. Listen, you guys gotta understand, like, I'm fairly done with Battlefront. Oh, she said hello to Lily. Like... I'm not saying I'm not gonna Battlefront ever again, but I'm not gonna stream it as often as I was. Like...
What did your mic just do?
I don't know, I
Sounded like you unplugged it.
No, I stood up.
Did you just have loose connection?
No, I, like, rubbed against the microphone. Like, with my chin. I stood up. Like, and, you know, there were a couple of people that were saying, oh, your channel's gonna die as a result. No, it's not. Like, it's not. There's a lot of people here that watch a lot of other things. I was... Oh, okay. Alright.
Lily just said the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
오, 알았어.
Who?
Lily, in chat.
I can say I farted in Chinese. I mean, you know, some people can say I farted in Chinese.
I mean, Chinese people can.
I'm gonna get the VR headset and I'm gonna try to pull a 24-hour stream in VR. It's gonna be tough, dude. Like, it's gonna be tough because I'm gonna have to eat, like, use the bathroom, you know, things. Like, go 24 hours without a shower. I'm gonna have to do it when I have, like, a couple days off of work. I could try to take off for it. Now, a lot of people think that this is, like, gonna be, like, the rebirth of my channel here. Like, Zio was talking about it, and he thinks that the VR is literally the best decision that I've ever made for my channel. I agree. I think it's gonna be a lot of new people that are gonna show up because VR is a whole different ball game. Like, there's gonna be games, there's gonna be VR chat. Like, there's just gonna be so much more to do, and it's a different kind of content. It's a little bit more on the interactive side. You know, and you guys get to see me actually get affected by jump scares if that kind of thing happens. And VR chat is cool because there's so many different things to do. And, alright, so today is Saturday. So, I'm thinking it's going to be here like Monday or Tuesday. I'm thinking that.
Your YouTube chat's being weird. It didn't load the last two messages.
That's dumb. But it's time for me to go, because I gotta go to sleep. So I've done the stream. Thank you.
Why? How?
Yeah, I definitely want her to hear this.
스트리밍을 끝낼 시간입니다. 친구를 봐주셔서 감사합니다.
I knew that was gonna be a long one.
What if that was the one thing I talked over?
I'd have to punch you in the dick. It would suck. Yeah, we're talking like at least like 4,000 pounds of power or something. I don't know. All right.
And Punch Man style.
I'm just stream hanging out with you guys. She loved hanging out with you guys. Love you. She says goodbye to everybody.
I take that to compliment.
It's cool. And then we'll say that to her.
우리도 당신을 사랑합니다.
There we go. Yeah, she's really cool. Like, she even said goodnight to you, Toot Toot. Toot Toot.
Wait, on my Google Translate said she says hello to me.
Well, maybe for her, like, it's almost like saying hello and goodbye. You know, it's a language thing. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like in some languages, hello and goodbye it's just like a one thing. It's just a like a greeting. Like, but you can use it to say hello or goodbye. So maybe that's how it works in Korean. You know, that kind of thing.
So I'm gonna sue Google Translate for not understanding different words. Got it.
And then I'll tell her.
내일 스트리밍.
Streaming tomorrow too. But yeah, probably. I mean, we're at least posting a video, you know, or something like that.
Can't wait to be the
another way for me to communicate with her outside of the YouTube stream. I'll figure out a way.
Can't wait to be the main star of the show tomorrow.
You're right. Alright, you guys in the chat, it's been fun. Let's say this to her.
좋은 밤 되세요.
You guys all have a wonderful rest of your night. Stream till you either pass out or have to go to work. Yeah, right, dude. No way, bro. You know how tired I would be? That's crazy. Maybe sometime in the future.
How long does it take to just pass out from just like staying awake?
What, for me?
Just for like average.
I don't know. 10-15 minutes. Can't wait for the next stream tomorrow. Okay, cool. Can't wait to talk to you more.
Oh, thank you.
Without that.
당신과 더 이야기하기를 기다릴 수 없습니다.
I'm just trying to think of like basic things to say or you know what I mean, like that are like super friendly, I guess. Like I probably sound like
Copy the dictionary.
Probably sounds like I'm simping here. I'm just trying to be friendly. You know, I mean, I don't know what because there are phrases in our language that don't exist in other languages. So I'm trying to like be very basic. Yeah, like so she said hi Cortex, which she probably means bye. But you guys, thanks for watching the stream. It's been fun. I kind of liked doing it this way where we're all just kind of like hanging out and just kind of letting things fly a little bit, which is pretty cool. We'll definitely do it again.
I saw this thing where this guy memorized the entire like Korean dictionary just to win a game of Scrabble. A Scrabble tournament.
At a Boggle tournament. She said love you. Oh,
너도 사랑해 만도 너는 최고야.
There we go. You guys have a great night. Thanks for watching the stream. It's been fun. Now, cue the outro.
Can't wait to talk over this now.